Good afternoon. A nice Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back to Saddle Rants and Reflections. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'll call this one when did being a backyard horseman become a derogatory thing? Now, I grew up at horse shows. I remember my family raised Morgans, and we showed them, and I was playing with Hot Wheels underneath the bleachers at the horse show. And back in those days, we had countless small farms that were Morgan horse enthusiasts, and the breed was, essentially, America's first breed, the most versatile horse, a family horse. And I remember going to the horse show, and there was so many weanlings and the weanling futurity and the yearlings and stuff like that they actually, they would have to split classes. And everybody brought their yearling or weanling or 2-year-old or whatever it was, and they showed them against each other, and it was friendly and competitive. And you basically, you bred it, you raised it, you showed it in halter, or you trained it, and it was a good community. And then something started to happen, and the professional trainers, I think, have a lot to do with this. But this versatile horse that you would see throughout the day, ridden in Western tack, and then in saddle seat, and then in hunt seat, and then you'd see it in a pleasure driving class and stuff like that. People were enjoying their horses, and they were getting, they were becoming horse people. And their kids generally got involved, and they stayed in it too. And you were making true horsemen because they were involved from the time that horse hit the ground until it was retired out to the pasture. And we got some big trainers with some, and hey, I'm all about successful horse trainers and stuff like that. But there got to be this idea that you could always buy better than you could breed, and that if you wanted to win the national championship in hunt seat per se, you needed a hunter. And if you wanted to do well in saddle seat, then you needed an English horse. And so they started to breed very much for those things. And the versatility just kind of got bred out of the horses. And not so much the versatility, but they were just, it fueled the enterprise. And for a while, it was a good thing because people had more horses. You would have a hunter that you showed, and you'd have an English horse that you showed, and you had a roadster. But these guys, these professionals, they were going out there and they were literally finding the best horse that you could buy and bringing it back. And, eventually, I guess if you believe in evolution, they were winning everything, and the backyarders were like, why am I coming anymore? And I can't compete with that. And it's just no fun. And so they started to, kind of leave. And they took their horses to other things where they thought they might have a chance. They got into dressage, and they went into eventing, and some of them moved over and were doing carriage driving and stuff. And pretty soon, year by year, the shows that I used to go to as a kid that were a big deal and that I looked forward to just started to get so small that they couldn't even pay for themselves. And pretty soon you were having the Morgan people teaming up with your Arabian people and the Andalusian people, all trying to show their little tiny breed remnant at the same horse show so that they could share the cost. And now you didn't have a breed show anymore. You basically had an open show. And it was kind of sad to see. But if you look back in retrospect, we kind of did it to ourselves. And so, flash forward, I don't have Morgans anymore. I don't show that much. I've done a whole lot of things, including the Pony Club, the 3-day eventing, and all the things that I talked about. But I've ended up in hunter jumpers for a very long time, not in the rider aspect, but I was photographing it. I used to photograph horses all over the country, and I photographed gobs of different disciplines, gated horses to whatever you can think of. And there was this like slang or almost derogatory term assigned to people that, had their horses in their backyard, and they were self-trained and they did everything themselves. And sure, there was, some breeds it was more prevalent than others, but there was just like this backyarder, or you were looked at with some sort of disdain because you were a 4-H'er or a pony clubber. And I was just like, man, that's kind of sad. I mean, here are two organizations that are not just churning out riders, but people that actually know how to take care of their horses. And it's like a ground where you could actually recruit somebody that's got some chops and they can actually, go on to bigger and better things. But here you are, if you're not with a trainer, you're a backyarder. And, part of me is like, a backyarder is a derogatory. I mean, you actually can afford to have some land, your own barn, your own arena, and you're looked down on when everybody else is paying board to have to sit there and deal with everybody else and fight over arena time and stuff. I mean, come on. Anyway, it looks to me like after I've been doing this for a while that it's they're protecting their income stream. They want you to ride. They don't want you to touch your horses outside of their, immediate supervision. And they're protecting, they want that job security. And so therefore we can thank ourselves for the fact that the horse community is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I'd like to see that turn around. I'd like to see people empowered to think that, just like my mom did and my dad did, that you can get into it and you can get to be enthusiastic about your horses, and you can find good people that are willing to come over to your backyard place and help you and help you grow in the art of horsemanship, and that you can enjoy your horses at whatever level that you have them just as much as anybody else. And that we have a resurgence in people that are, able and capable of teaching themselves and doing things. I think that's what we really need. Otherwise, it's going to be, relegated to only the people that can afford, the fanciest place and the most highfalutin trainer that are going to actually be able to do this. Because at the end of the day, there are people out there and they don't want you to have horses, period. And the smaller our community gets, the more susceptible of not having a say in our future becomes. So that's all I got. I'm proud to be a backyarder, and I moved on to a lot of other things, and horses opened a lot of doors in my life. And I just never regret being that kid who had his horse in the backyard and got to play and do what I wanted and experiment. And finally, when I got serious, able to go out there and get instruction, and it was there for me. Go out and enjoy your horses. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.